Today's Wednesday and it's the 19th of June, it's 2024, and I'm on my own today. Anita's gone off to pick the girls up with Milena and Louis, and I'm just doing a drive here. I'm driving along the Paseo Maritimo and just wanted to make an update of the work that's going on along the Paseo. So we're starting at the cathedral end. It wasn't my intention to start at this end, but there was so much traffic at the other end and no places to park at all that I drove all the way along, and I've just turned around, put the camera on the car, and we're just going to set off now along the Paseo. So on the left we've got the old fishing port, and then on the right the old Palma, Mallorca. You notice the skies look a bit grey. We did in fact have a little bit of rain this morning. Not much, just a few spots, and it's absolutely full of the dust from the Sahara, which, well, you can see it on the car. It literally was a few spots, but enough to make a mess on the car. So yeah, we're just going along the Paseo, and there's no work going on this part, but as we get to the next set of traffic lights, we'll start to see some of the work. Time of day, it's around about lunchtime, about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and well, a lot of cars just avoid the Paseo Maritimo, but some can't avoid it, so it does still get quite busy. So it's slow progress as we go along here, trying to get through the traffic lights. Just on the right hand side here, you nearly see those black boxes up behind the palm trees. That's Baleares, and it's a modern art museum. Sometimes have concerts and other things going on there. It's a very interesting place to go and have a little look around. And sometimes, just on the side here, there's a little promenade, and they have markets there sometimes. And there was a market in front of the cathedral, I noticed today, and I think it's the one we went to just a few weeks ago. Must be a semi-permanent setup there. There are lots of traffic lights as you go along the Paseo Maritimo, and they're not always very well synchronised. The speed limit, as we get to the next part, drops from 50 down to 30, and I pretty much stick to the speed limit. So all these yellow lines now indicate this a speed limit now is going to be 30 kilometers per hour. It's about 20 miles an hour. It's pretty slow, but you'll see lots of cars zoom past me, not taking any notice whatsoever. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to come down was because I read in the paper that the road, which is on the right, you can see now, is just about ready to open. In fact, one report I read said it would open this week. They've actually painted some lines on there, and in some parts it absolutely does look ready to open. And then as I was driving along, I saw they were actually digging up part of the road, the part of the brand new road that's only just been set down. They were actually digging it up. So whether it will open this week remains to be seen, but I'll be keeping my eye on it. What I did also notice is just on the left hand side, they have actually started work on the seaside now. So as they finish the work on the land side, they will start work on the seaside. Now we get to the parts where the main bits of the work are being carried out, and you can just about see the tarmac on the right, and it is all done, it's all pretty much finished, but here they are digging it up. Well, who'd have believed it? So I'm driving along at a steady 30 kilometers per hour. It's the Costa Azul Hotel there. There is a car park just to the right there. You can just see the entrance to it. I suppose I could have gone in there. I'm just about to set off from the traffic lights here, and you can see some of the markings on the road, so it is getting ready. And I guess the intention is to move some of the traffic onto that road, and then they'll be able to start work on the seaside in a bit more earnest. So just on the left there now you can see where they already started work on the seaside. It's only that part, and it's got a lot more work to do. So definitely seeing progress, and we're just outside the auditorium now. I didn't walk along, and hopefully I'll be able to get a little walk along there as soon. I'll be able to see what it's like. 'Cause if it's open, if the road's open, it'll look quite different along there, I'm quite sure, and it might make quite a nice walk. It's a little bit wider than it used to be, and it makes it a nice area to walk in, and there's plenty of bars and different restaurants, so you can go in there. There's lots to see, and hopefully we'll still be able to walk along the front there by the boats and see the boats as well, so it shouldn't be too bad. As to people staying in the hotel, well, I don't know. There's going to be some dust, and there will be some noise, and it could well be disturbing, but hopefully not too much. This isn't going to stop anytime soon. This is going to go on all the way through till 2025, and so there's still lots of work to be done. One part that was of particular interest is coming up now is the Mallorca Social Club, which had a compulsory order on it, and it's just here coming up on the right hand side, and that's now being demolished, and that is going to be removed, and they can continue work then all along the central reservation as it will be, and that can get finished off. So that's been holding up a little bit of the work. The owners, who are actually British, have been holding out for more compensation. Well, all that's finished now, and we should start to see a lot more work going on just in that area. So nearly back now towards Portopee, and as we get closer to that, on the left hand side we can see Club de Mar, which has had some quite big boats in recently. Mark Zuckerberg, our Facebook fame, his boat and all his family have been here, and even more recently one of Bill Gates's boats. He's got several by the sounds of things, but one of them, and perhaps not the biggest one, is here, and it's up for sale. So if you've got a spare 40-50 million, then maybe that's something you might want to look into. I'll just enjoy them from the quayside. Still lots of work going on at Club de Mar, and the cranes are out, and I don't think that's going to be ready anytime soon either, so I've never seen any dates set for that, but there's still a lot of work, and as you can just see coming up in front of us, the cranes are still there, and the work is still proceeding. See the sun's trying to pop through the clouds, but it's just this haze, this dusty haze, and I think for some people, I think even me now, it's starting to affect my breathing and making me cough a little bit. It almost makes me think I should start wearing a mask again. There you can see the work that's going on in Club de Mar, the yacht club. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic when it's finished, but still plenty to do. Coming near to the end now of the Paseo Maritimo. We've got the meteorology and the oceanography centres on the left hand side there. And this is where all the boats come in for the ferries to the mainland and between the islands. Now normally I'd actually stop the video here, but I decided to turn around and go back, so you get the view from both angles. I always find it different when I do my walks elsewhere. You go one way and the view changes when you walk backwards, so I'm doing it with a drive this time. And quite conveniently here outside Porta P there's a big roundabout, and I can just do the turning there. So I just slip off to the right and then wait for the lights to change. Which, by the way, the camera is actually sitting on the roof of the car, and as I'm driving along and I'm going over all the bumps, I'm thinking, I hope it's well and secure there. I don't want to be stopping the car to go and pick it up off the floor. The tankers, the fuel tankers, you can see in front, they're in Porta P, and that's the area here. Just behind that is actually the King's Summer Palace. The lights have changed now. We can start on our journey along the Paseo Maritimo, and this time travelling east. Past the Porta P shopping centre on the left there. And then this part on the right is normally reserved for Guardia Civil and military vessels. The lighthouse on the right, one of the oldest in the Mediterranean. Not many cruise ships in today. There was one big one which we're just getting a little glimpse of now. I did actually miss on Monday. I wanted to come down and forgot about it in the end. But the Queen Anne came in, and I would like to have seen that. She's out on a maiden voyage and popped into Palma. So now we start to see the work from a different angle. And again, it's a 30km/h speed limit, and I'm very careful to stick to the speed limit. Now we just set off again. So we're now travelling east on the Paseo Maritimo. And so the work on Club de Mar is now on the right hand side. The right hand side is the seaside, and the left hand side is the land side. You see the new multi-storey buildings on the right, that's Club de Mar. We have the sleeping policemen that we have to go over there. There's quite a lot of them on this road. Makes for a bit of a bumpy ride. And the mega yachts that I've been mentioning would be somewhere moored on the outside of the Club de Mar here on the right. Looking at the video, it's you can see there is an attempt at blue sky up there, but there's so much dust, it's making it sort of hazy. Not quite the lovely blue that we're normally used to. And I was only saying to Anita today that we seem to be getting more of this Sahara dust blowing over. I don't seem to have noticed it so much in the past. It's something we've always had, but not something I've really been bothered about. Maybe it's just me getting older and noticing these things. And certainly for the last few weeks I've started to feel it in my chest. And I'm sure it's something to do with breathing in so much dust. And I think a year or two ago I was reading a report on the air quality in Palma, and it was reported to be one of the worst in the Mediterranean. And part of that is due to the fact that we get so much of this dust that's being blown over from storms and winds in the Sahara Desert. So on the left hand side now, you can see that the work is almost finished. Still some bits to do. The central part seems to be cleared, and I'm thinking they're going to put roads in there and make this a much more of a wide promenade along the front. The bridge that you can just come and see on the left hand side comes from the Hotel Mediterraneo that used to be, and they used to have the swimming pool in the centre of the reservation there, and it's also where the social club was, and that now you can see is already started to be dismantled. It'll be interesting to see the bridge when they take that down. All of that on the left there is going to have to go. Other than that, we seem to be doing very well with the work, and I'm sure the businesses that are on the land side are going to be breathing a sigh of relief as they can open up their bars and use the terraces in front. Hopefully very, very soon. And with traffic going by, it'll feel a little bit more as though it's going back to normal. Some businesses, though, I don't think survived, and Piccola was one that's now gone. That was quite a nice Italian restaurant, which Anita and I used to go to, and we also used to go with the Masons. It was quite a good place to have. They've got private rooms there, so we've got a private room at the back. Just to the right now is where the party boats are normally moored, and there is a car park there, and I tried to go into the car park. Well, I did drive in, but no spaces at all. And on my first trip down the Paseo Maritimo, there were no parking spaces at all. On this one, I did actually go past a couple of spaces where I could have pulled in, but as I've got the camera on the roof, I thought, I may as well just finish it off. That's the auditorium on the left. Our big theatre holds about 2,000, maybe 3,000 people. And just a little bit further on, we start to see some banners that have been put out for some of the concerts that are coming up in the summer. James Blunt is coming. Nita and I went to see James Blunt in Barcelona. We flew over for the concert and then flew straight back after the concert. Tom Jones is coming. I hear he might be going into retirement, but he's got a concert here, I think on the 30th of July, end of July. And there's been, obviously we've already had the Mallorca live concerts, but quite a lot of concerts going to be coming up over the next few months, going right into September. Just to the right there is the Can Blanc, and we were in Palma just the other day, and Can Blanc that is now being worked on. What it's going to become, I don't know. I'm assuming it's just going to be a similar sort of bar, but they don't seem to be very quick about it. It's slower than I would have expected. To the old part of the port on the right hand side. And we start to see now that they are actually starting work on this seaside. Lots of it's being dug up here on the right, and that's the work that's started now. The work on the left nearly completed. That's the land side. Work on the right just starting up. see there's lots of traffic lights on the Paseo Maritimo. Off we go. Lots of cyclists around, and a lot of them are actually powered cycles as well. They're electric bicycles. Just to the right here, they're coming up to the old fishing port, the original Mallorca, and there's Baleares on the left. Speed limit changes now to 50, so cars all start to speed up, me included. We're coming towards the end of our drive as we go past La Lonja, and just a few more traffic lights to go through, and we'll be back where we started, near to the cathedral. And as expected, we have to stop at the traffic lights. There used to be a time when I'd drive along the Paseo Maritimo and it would be quite easy to synchronise it just right. If you kept at 50 kilometres per hour, you'd sail all the way along the Paseo Maritimo without stopping. I think those days have gone now, and you seem to be able to have to stop at every one of them. Hopefully when the road's completed, all things will get back to normal. That's if we are allowed to drive along the Paseo Maritimo. From January the 1st of 2025, Palma's going to be introducing a low emission zone. It's a gentle introduction to start with, and it's only very few vehicles which will be banned from the old part of Palma, but another 2 years and the number of cars being banned will increase depending on their emissions, which they pretty much determine about the age of the car. So it depends how old your car is and also what fuel it uses. So me driving a diesel car, an old diesel car at that, I probably don't stand much chance. So thanks very much for watching, and we're back at the cathedral now, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video. So it's bye for now.